Hello and welcome back to Fate's Day Night. My name is Mimi Dennis, and last time we're like, no Gilgamesh, don't kill Ilia. He's like, but what if I do? And he ends up killing her again. And we're like, oh crap. But it kind of ends up the same where they let us go, but afterwards, Tohsaka and Shirou have a talk about how he's kind of broken, and he learns to basically accept that, and he's still gonna do what he wants to do. And later on, we're discussing how we're gonna handle Caster. Lancer's like, hey, why don't I team up with you? And he's like, alright, but only if you don't hit on Tohsaka, because she's my girl this route. He's like, I like you, alright, let's go. So we all go to the church, and it seems like Lancer's gonna hold off Archer. Yeah, Archer. He's in the front. He's like, yeah, I won't let you go. Oh, wait, you got Lancer. You guys can go. You guys got the pass. So Shirou and Tohsaka go to confront Caster, while Lancer, he basically holds off Archer. And it seems like we have this really cool scene where they're fighting off against each other. It seems like Lancer has the upper hand because he's just faster, and he decides to use his ultimate blow because he called him a dog. And he uses the throne version of Gay Bulg against Archer's row eyes. yeah, iconic moment. But Archer managed to block his unblockable block. You know what I mean. But he's left kind of damaged, but he's alive. And Lancer's like, okay, I see what you're doing. My job's done. So he leaves, and now we're back here. We basically just started our attack. Shirou versus Kuzuki, while Rin is, fighting off against Caster. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. So let's head into it. Ugh. I desperately parry the constant flurry of fists. Kuzuki's fists are live snakes. Even if I barely dodge them, they change their course of direction to come bite me the moment I avoid them. That's how Saber got seriously injured. Saber was grazed by Kuzuki's snake because she had the reflexes to dodge it. But I don't, fuck! But I don't have such reflexes. I can't dodge them. And first of all, I can't even see his fists! I can't see them, so it's impossible to even dodge them. Oh my god, my skill issue. My shoulder. Kuzuki's fist grazes my left collarbone. It's like a sledgehammer. It feels as if my left shoulder is shattered and I almost dropped my dagger. I stop and bear it, repelling the repeated fists aiming towards my face with a dagger in my right hand. Well, so long left arm, I can't feel it no more. Actually, I do feel it, and it feels like pain. I desperately retreat. Retreat without regard for my appearance while Kuzuki closes in, without revealing how he advanced. I shiver at his stance. They keep using the CG for him. I kind of wish they had more diversity for him. I won't be able to withstand the next attack. It's absurd that I was able to parry all the attacks until now. It doesn't feel real. My misunderstanding of being able to manage with just defense and being a decoy until Tohsaka defeats Caster shattered from the first blow. Soichiro Kuzuki took our previous battle in account. He's like, oh, he's growing. I'm growing, but he's also growing. Before I was able to fend off Kuzuki, who attacked Tohsaka. Oh, sorry, before I was able to fend off Kuzuki, but so I thought I'd be able to block his attacks if I projected Archer's twin swords. But on the other hand, that means I can't do anything without Archer's swords. Kuzuki took that into consideration. This time, the first thing that Kuzuki did was try to take away my twin swords. Oh, you heard them shatter. My right dagger shatters. His fist, strengthened by Caster's magecraft, destroys my sword with just a few blows. And another one. Whoa! Actually, I'm gonna go back just 1 second because it looked like a different version. He was using a different, what do you call it, magic circuit. It's all the way on the right this time. Yeah, he was using a different magic circuit. Huh, that's interesting. I immediately replaced the dagger. I can't expect high quality with the force projection and quickly made swords. As a result, the twin swords that have received several attacks lose their accuracy. It's like you may not run out of swords, but these hands ain't gonna stop. I can't control my breathing. I frantically block Kuzuki's snakes with my twin swords. My body just follows the twin swords. My limbs that copy Archer's movements have far exceeded the limits of my body. So my arms are just moving on their own. And then there's this headache. My body erodes every time my twin swords are destroyed and I project new ones. It's different from using up magical energy. It feels like I lose one of the few magic circuits I have every time I make a new sword. Oh, really? I mean, I wonder if that's actually happening, or if he's just feeling that because it's such a new experience summoning this many swords. I'm almost out. I might be able to make 2 more. It's over when magical energy runs out. But first of all, would I even be able to make 2 more? Oh crap, another one shatters. I'm in the air. Kuzuki's right fist, the fist that hadn't been using, was thrust like a spear. I parried the blow that tried to pierce through my chest and ribcage with my twin swords. In an instant, my twin swords are destroyed. Oh, both of them are destroyed. It seems like I was flung away from the impact. I feel something hard against my back. It's the ceiling! I must have been flung up about 5 meters. I try to resume my breathing. I realize I can't breathe. The penetrating impact is numbing my heart. I can't breathe and I can't even move my limbs. Just for a few seconds. During that gap of my heart resuming to work. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Happy feet. The devil approaches. This is it. This man would finish me off if I dropped my guard only for a second. With me like this, it'd be more than enough to kill me 6 times. I glare at my enemy. Even if my limbs don't move, there are still things I can do. I'm not one who wields swords to start with. My weapon that I fight with has always been magecraft. Then, it's not over yet. My role is to hold Kuzuki down. I can't give up without fulfilling my role. Well, the hitting sound didn't come from in front of me. The structure of the sword that I was imagining disappears. Kuzuki, who is approaching to twist my neck, stops. The abnormality was behind Kuzuki. It happened to cast her, with the altar behind her. Wait, so Saber? Are you serious? We got another interlude? 14-2. Unlimited Blade Works. Who's POV are going to be in this time? Maybe Caster? Tohsaka is also at an advantage. Nah, the burden is greater than mine since she clearly understands the difference in their powers. I have no idea. She said mine? So it's not Tohsaka. I don't know. Caster points her fingers towards her, full of composure. The magecraft is arrow. Caster has arrow as in like the wind, not bow and arrow. Just want to say that. Caster has no need for incantations. To the witch that lived in the age of gods, she does not need a process to connect herself with the world. Caster is always surrounded by divine mysteries that make the world go round. For her, magecraft is just something she commands. This is just like ordering a guard dog to attack. 8th. He counters with her treasured jewel. She does not have the time to cast a spell, and she cannot match Caster's magecraft with simple spells. Their skills as mages are far apart as heaven and earth. To bridge that gap, she can only bring out the thing that she has been accumulating for a long time, the crystallization of magical energy that she has stored since she was born as a daughter of a mage. She faces a challenge, preparing to use the remaining 9 out of 10 irreplaceable jewels. Time to unload! Caster keeps her smile even though her magecraft is being nullified by pure magical energy. Caster, who can exercise magecraft almost infinitely, and the girl who opposes her using the jewels as amplifiers. Difference is obvious. I don't know how many jewels she has, but it should be around 10 or 20. I'm confused. I feel like we're supposed to be in Caster's POV, but like, if we're in her POV, she is like, wait, she knows that you have 9 out of 10 jewels, but then she's like, I don't know how many she has. It's like the, whatchamacallit? The narrator for this part is inconsistent, but I'm wondering if that's on purpose or not. I think it is, but I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Saber's POV, and she's observing the fight from a third-person perspective. There's no way she can defeat Caster with that amount. He neutralizes the electric charge with the 7th jewel. There's 6 left. With 6 more spells from Caster, her trump card will run out. Damn, she's really brute strengthening this. Without reacting to the giggling voice, she readies a jewel between her fingers in preparation for the next bullet. Just as Caster says, her jewels would not shatter if she were just protecting herself. Each jewel should be able to block Caster's spells about 3 times. But she couldn't do that. Gotta go on the offensive. Caster's magecraft covers the sanctuary once it's activated. Kuzuki should be protected by Caster, but he is an exception. If she doesn't counter Caster's magecraft before it's activated, then Shirou Emiya, who is keeping Soichiro Kuzuki busy, will burn and die. Therefore, it's meaningless if she protects only herself. You can't let him die like that, and the premise of the strategy is that he stops Kuzuki. Caster's fingers move. Here's a 6-1. A 6 Winter River. In response to that, she makes the first move. Her jewels will run out and she will be killed if she keeps on defending. Caster's magecraft and her jewels. If the magical energy contained is the same amount, then she can beat Caster if she just makes the first move. But she cannot surpass Caster's spells. If Rin Tohsaka is the fastest without using spells, she can establish magecraft just by releasing jewels. Caster is also the fastest, as she can create divine mysteries with just one phrase. There is no first move in their battle. It's just a clash of power against power. The first to lose from the clash will run out of magical energy, loses. Okay, Tohsaka, why don't you try this? Throw 2 jewels! Then... Oh no, she got me beat. She's throwing 3 of them, just like she did to Berserker. 5th, 3rd, 4th, finale, Sword of Flames, synergy! She just needs to force her way through. She uses her jewels one after the other and breaks through Caster's magical energy. Is this what stops Shirou's battle with Soichiro? There are 3 jewels released. Additionally, she uses her treasured 4th jewel to add a synergistic effect. So... which one was... Okay, so use the 5th and 3rd and 4th, and the 4th one had Finale, Sword of Flames, and Synergy? I don't know how this works. The magecraft is beyond her limits. You cannot use magecraft surpassing your own tolerance. She herself, who told him that, is breaking the rule to unleash this attack. An attack that would destroy not only the sanctuary, but the entire church had Caster not defended against it. He's like, oh god. Whoa. But the witch in purple blocks it like it's nothing. No, it wasn't just that. Caster had swallowed all of her magical energy into her robe. Oh, teleport! Tohsaka stands there in astonishment. Fuck, only got 2 jewels left! Behind her, she can hear the sound of his defeat. The sound of breaking swords and his body slamming up against the wall. The match is about to be settled. There's nothing she can do, and her body sways. She staggers forward as if defeated by an inescapable despair. Keep going, if she kills you. If you give up and she kills you, then she'll just have 2 more jewels to use. But if you use them, she can't use them. She has no energy to answer. Regardless of how many jewels she has left, this was the best she could do. If that didn't work, not even 100 jewels would be enough to hurt Caster with her magecraft. So, ようやく理解したようね。何をしようが私にはかなわないと。けれど楽しくはあったわ、お嬢さん。魔術を競い合うのは久しぶりでしたからね。He's like, man, why couldn't this be a Holy Grail war of just 7 casters? That'd be so much more fun. ねえ。それだけでもあなたに価値を与えましょう。She stops herself from falling forward, suppressing her nausea with her hand, and keeps glaring at Caster. 悔しい？けれどこれが現実よ。むしろ誇りなさい。遊んであげたとはいえ、あなたはこの私に魔術戦をさせたのだから。Then Caster points at her, as if to pronounce her death sentence. 消えなさい。あの坊やが私のマスターに倒されるのは時間の問題。その前に、こちらもそろそろ終わりにしましょう。Fade to white. Caster slowly remembers her death. That opening. You've been waiting for that judgment. I've been waiting for this. Second, strengthen. She only needs 1 phrase to release the spell. She hangs her head and smiles as she murmurs, I got him. Boom. Boom. Interlude out. I think that was probably from Rin's POV, but I can't really tell. Huh? Right now we're all the way here. So that was interlude, unerring spear, and wait, what? Oh no, usually interludes have their own section, but I think this one was cast Archer versus Lancer, but that interlude didn't actually show up. That was all part of the showdown one. Okay. Huh? I doubt my own eyes for a moment. Tohsaka and Caster. The Battle of Magecraft ended with Tohsaka's defeat. Tohsaka slowly staggered forward as if asking for Caster for forgiveness, and Caster released magical magecraft to finish her off. That moment, Tohsaka counters the released magecraft. Counter! That's fine. That's not surprising. The problem is that after that, Tohsaka punches Caster with a fired up. Oh my god, I just thought of... I've been getting a lot of free reign clips, and there's this one dude in like this test where they have to basically do something. They have to capture this bird. In the very last moments, this old dude, he's like, well, fuck, I'm out of magical energy, but you know what I'm not out of? These hands! And he just fucking punches people and gets the final thing he needs for the test. And that moment is always like hilarious to me. I feel like that's what Tohsaka was like, I may be out of magic, but I'm not out of options. Let's go. Oh. Tohsaka throws herself into the hellfire. He counters the released magecraft and, using it as a distraction, she jumps onto Caster. Caster's surprise is that of a mage. She could not have predicted that the mage lost in magecraft would come punching at her. I didn't expect it either, so it must be like blasphemy for Caster, who is an excellent mage. But that isn't just a useless struggle. Tohsaka closes in, lands a 1-inch punch, a Chinese martial arts move on Caster's chest. A shattering sound. Tohsaka must have strengthened her fist just like Tsukuzuki, as her blow easily breaks through Caster's defenses. Wow. Wait, was the last thing she used strengthen? I don't know if yeah, it was Stark second strengthen. She's like, the fuck? Whoa! I'm honestly fascinated by her coordination. Tohsaka drops to the ground right after the 1-inch punch. Putting both hands on the ground, she crouches towards Caster's knees. The Caster, she has no hand-to-hand combat knowledge. It must look like Tohsaka disappeared. Then she executes a foot sweep. Yeah, go get him out, choke her out. Her legs using her entire body is explosive. I was trying to kick off Caster's legs. That was kind of a cute scream. Caster's feet are swept beneath her and lands on her back. Whoa! But it doesn't stop. After the sweep, Tohsaka stands up with her back turned to Caster, uses the turning momentum to jab Caster with an elbow. Fly! Oh! Tohsaka stops her turning and throws a straight punch at Caster, putting her weight into it. Not out of options! Caster's body is blown away. Taking Tohsaka's straight punch directly, Caster slammed into the wall like me. Hi Caster, how you doing? I'm here too. Damn, she got fucked up. Leaning against the wall, Caster pants dizzily. Keep going, Tohsaka! There's distance between them. I love how like we're just watching this, like Shirou and Kuzuki are just like, wait a second, our girls are doing something weird. Tohsaka kicks the ground to cover the few meters between them. The match is settled. Caster cannot move and her wound seems fatal. The battle only lasted for a few seconds. The match is settled with a 5-second interval after I was smashed into the wall while confronting Kuzuki. Caster has no energy left to block. Tohsaka closes in on Caster with a saber-like speed and delivers the finishing blow. I swear Kuzuki's gonna dodge this because Shirou realizes that it's been 5 seconds and he hasn't looked at Kuzuki once. Strengthening for just a few seconds using magecraft. Tohsaka intended to fight Caster close combat from the start. Caster only saw Tohsaka as a mage. He acted like she was at a disadvantage so that she could use that opening to achieve her one-time surprise attack. And the plan worked. Caster was deceived by Tohsaka and completely lost. Tohsaka has won this battle. Yes. Yeah. Shirou, you said you were gonna hold him off! If not for this man's monstrous athleticism. If Tohsaka running to Caster was like a hurricane, then his speed is like a storm caused by the devil. More wind, hurricane, storm, what do you call those metaphors? Yeah. Tohsaka stops. In front of Caster, leaning against the wall, is Soichiro Kuzuki, who was just in front of me until now. Uh-oh. Tohsaka moves. The instant Tohsaka feels death and immediately shields her face while jumping back. Kuzuki's right fist that blew me away strikes Tohsaka's face. Oh god. Shirou, you dick! Tohsaka guards her face with both hands and jumps back, but she's sent flying. Tohsaka smashed into the wall opposite from me with her arms dangling down as if they were broken. You Damn, should have finished her off sooner, he says calmly. But that's not Tohsaka's fault. The reason she lost her chance is because of me. If I had stopped Kuzuki, Tohsaka would have defeated Caster. This is my responsibility. Our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was lost because of my inexperience and Soichiro Kuzuki's superior hand-to-hand combat skills. I'ma fucking kill them! Get him, Soichiro! Caster regained her consciousness. With Kuzuki by her side, she extends her awareness to the entire church. It was all for naught. Ambushes won't work on Caster anymore. Tohsaka barely has any strength left, and I only have 2 swords left. It's bad. If they use her to attack us in this state, we won't be able to see the light of day ever again. I am glad that I feel like a lot of times we're like, oh, servants can't defeat masters. I'm sorry, masters can't defeat servants, etc. because servants are these basically godly beings. But in this case, like, honestly, I'm still kind of amazed that Soichiro was able to beat Saber of all the servants. There is like nerf because she has Shirou as his master, but like the way we talked about Saber made it sound like she was basically unmatched in close combat, other than maybe Berserker. And Soichiro, who was just, you know, at that time we just thought of him as like a school teacher. He was able to beat the shit out of her. I mean, but a lot of it is due to the fact that he is buffed by Caster, but it really makes you wonder like how much that buff really is, because that has to be a lot. But like, because of that precedence, Rin buffing herself up and beating Caster of all people makes a lot more sense, since Caster is physically the weakest servant available. And if she didn't see that coming, it's more likely that she would lose in close combat out of all the servants. And yeah, so like with Soichiro as the president, it actually makes a lot of sense for Rin to beat Caster that way. And it's very nice that she actually had a fighting chance, not just, you know, going blow to blow with magical energies. That's not gonna work. But actually doing something clever to get the W. And then Soichiro shows up, so we're fucked. Oh, fuck! Caster raises her hand and points at her on the altar. She is visibly bound by magical curses, just as Caster is about to set her free. What are you doing there, Archer? The sound came from above. I can hear the whispers coming from the stairs above me. Caster was the first one that noticed something was wrong. Kuzuki can't tell. Why? Because Kuzuki can't detect traces of magical energy. Caster's on the move. Countless amounts of swords can be seen. I love swords. Floating above Caster's master. Uh-oh, above Soichiro Kuzuki. Soichiro! Wait a second. I gotta see that again. I gotta see all these weapons. Floating above Caster's master. So, is that Gay Bolg? The red one? How do you have that, Archer? I mean, another Archer also has that, but still. Soichiro! Perhaps Caster understood that she wouldn't be able to block the attack. She now stands in front of her master trying to shield him from the assault. Oh, he's using Trace on all! I was certain that the voice above me muttered us such words. The room is now silent. The floating swords turned their gaze upon a single target on the floor, and it rained down upon them, piercing them. The sword vanished after they had cut through the flesh and bone, leaving behind only traces of crimson. You chose to be a shield. Aww, Shield's like, I'm gonna try to win this war, I need this Holy Grail, but no, I can't lose my hubby! Dragging her bloodied body, the woman looks back at the man that she tried to protect. Kuzuki says nothing, while a servant stands in front of him with countless piercing wounds. Maybe she feels that she doesn't have to hide it anymore. Taking down her hood, the woman shows her real face and slowly approaches her master. We get to finally see her face! There we go! Wait. She has white hair? I thought she was supposed to have purple hair! In all the media, she had purple hair! Maybe this is what happens when she runs out of magical energy or she's dying, but I could have sworn she was supposed to have purple hair. Her body is crumbling. At the brink of death, the woman looks upon her emotionless master. She gently caresses the man's face with her hand. Aww, is he dead already? Aww. Oh, no, okay, no, she does have purple hair. It was just from the angle before and the lighting that made it seem like she had white hair, but here you can more clearly identify it. Oh, okay. I'm not going crazy. I'm not crazy yet. It does show that she really cared for Kuzuki, though. It kind of showed that. I believe they said that it was unrequited. Unrequited? Her breath got shallower with each fading second. Kuzuki shows no change. He simply uttered a short confirmation, and he does not even bother to turn his gaze on Castor. This is fine. Wait. The woman lets out a smile, realizing that perhaps she is content because of this man. The woman's hand drops down from the man's face. Castor's body starts to disintegrate from her feet. Ichiro's really interesting because like he has no reason to join this war, but he's still doing this very life-threatening task for the sake of this woman that he barely knows. I can't really understand him at all. His simple and straight answer makes her smile. She smiles and looks at him like she's staring into a fading dream. I don't understand what her wish is. Is it to be able to love someone without being forced to love someone? Because in her previous life, she was forced to love Jason, and she ends up hating the gods for that in Fate lore. But here, she got to do basically love on her own free will. I'm gonna assume that's what it is. Oh, bye-bye, Castor. The Great Witch fades as she falls to her eternal slumber. Her purple robe falls to the ground. Without its owner, the robe also follows its master and fades into the wind. Not spending a moment looking at Castor, Kuzuki had turned his attention to that guy. To the guy probably standing above me, to the knight wearing a red cloak. That was his plan all along. He was a double agent without letting Tohsaka know that he was going to be a double agent. Double betrayal. My head hurts. It's not from the burden of projecting too many weapons. It's that chant. That chant that came out of that guy's mouth is attacking my brain with a constant feeling of nausea. Why are we so alike? Grace. On. I'm certain that's what he said. I keep telling myself that's not possible for him to whisper those words, but without a doubt, he uttered those exact words. Archer walks down into the church. Tohsaka stares at Archer and is probably still doubting her own eyes. Yeah, so I'm masterless now. Can I join back your team? Archer's not saying a word. He focuses his sight solely on his enemy, Kuzuki. Yup.
だがどちらかといえばトロイの木馬だろう。倒すべきがギリシャの英傑であったのだからな。
Oh.
例え話としてはそちらの方がふさわしい。
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that analogy. That's completely right. He was a freaking Trojan horse. Look at this free gift. Like, just take it and nothing will happen to you. Archer betrayed Castor right in front of her master, yet he shows no trace of regret facing the same man.
そうか。お前のような男を引き込んだキャスターの落ち度だったな。
Even with the traitor standing in front of him, Kuzuki shows no change in his tone. He still has fight left in him. He's not a mage and he's lost Castor, but Kuzuki still has the will to keep this fight going. He resumes his combat stance. Without Castor, Kuzuki's combat ability should have decreased drastically. Even if he's still the same dangerous viper, Castor's boon to turn his fist to steel should be gone by now. Despite that, Kuzuki still decides to face Archer. Dang.
そうか。続けるというのなら 止めはしない。
Archer takes up his swords. There are unseen sparks between them. The battle is set to begin. Is this really for the best? Kuzuki said that he's not interested in the Holy Grail. He was simply here to accompany Caster, truly a master in name only. If that's the case, there shouldn't be any more reason for Kuzuki to keep fighting now that Caster's gone.
待て、どうして続けるんだクズキ。あんたはキャスターの言いなりになってただけだろう。キャスターはもういないんだから戦う理由はないはずだ。
My head hurts so much that my consciousness is fading, but I'm fixing my sights on both of them. Kuzuki closes his eyes for but a brief moment and answers.
そうだ。戦う理由などない。お前と同じく私は聖杯などに興味はなかったからな。
Like you, I don't care about this Holy Grail war, but like you, I am still fighting.
なら。
だが、これは私が始めたことだ。それを途中でやめることなどできない。
I wonder if Shiro's gonna take these words into heart. Because he's also kind of like, yeah, I realize I'm flawed, I'm broken, but I'm still gonna keep doing what I want to do because I started doing it already. It's simple. His answer is plain and simple. Oh, that was actually kind of cool since they both basically have the same type of background. Black to white gradient and with the smoke coming from the bottom. The fight begins. The battle between them will probably end in a single encounter. Kuzuki possesses martial arts and skills beyond that of a simple human. His opponent is a servant. Simply being better than normal humans is not enough. This fight is just an excuse to tighten up a loose end. This is the fate of the loser. A fight between two masters is always going to be Wait, what? A fight between the two masters is always going to be kill or be killed. Is this supposed to be is always going to kill or be killed? Maybe I'm reading this wrong. It's always going to be kill or be killed. There we go. Sorry. I'm because it said be killed or be killed, I was like, what do you mean by that? So what's going to happen to Kuzuki is to be expected. If one is going to have a problem with this, then don't ever step into this war. Even so, oh, I don't know what to do. Shirou is the type of person that would try to stop them, so I'll try why should I stop them, because that's a little bit out of character for Shirou, even though this would be more advantageous. I have no right to stop them. Doesn't matter if he was Caster's puppet. Kuzuki didn't put a stop to what Caster was doing. Not only did he not stop Caster from draining the townspeople's magical energy, he even encouraged her to do it. In that case, even if Kuzuki is not a mage, he's still without a doubt a master in this war. To a master, defeating your opponent means killing them. He is aware of this fact before getting himself involved thus far, and he chose to fight knowing that he will have to kill or be killed trying. Kuzuki is not seeking any help, nor is he admitting his defeat. The only thing that will stop the man in front of me, is death. But, as a master myself, how can I stop them? Wait, is this... Okay, I thought it was gonna be illusion of choice. After a brief standoff, Kuzuki makes his move. Kuzuki's strikes is just as swift and powerful. Like a viper striking at its prey, he aims between Archer's eyes with deadly precision. Archer dodges at the last second and swiftly pierces Soichiro Kuzuki's chest. Wow, he's a better swordsman than Saber! New servant data added. Actually, okay, now we're here. I'm kind of curious for Caster. Okay, Caster's form is still the form of her with her hood on, and we don't really get any new skills or other stuff. What about Archer now? Ah, Archer's got updated because he no longer has a master. His master's dead at his own hand. All right, let's reload that other save. Okay, this time, if I can stop them, why shouldn't I try? If there's a way for him to be saved, if there's a way to resolve this without killing, is it so wrong to wish for it? Okay, it was illusion of choice. I thought this would maybe get some kind of point. I don't mind being called naive, and I know I'm a hypocrite. To a master, defeating your opponent means killing them. They're all aware of this fact before getting themselves involved thus far. They chose to fight knowing that they will have to kill, or be killed trying. I know how much of a coward I am for wanting to step in and stop them from fighting. And yet, if I have already decided to fight for someone, to help someone, I can't afford to lose a life when that life can be spared.
やめろ。勝負はついた。これ以上は。
If I try to stop them while enduring my headache. Oh, I try to stop them while enduring my headache. That moment, Kuzuki makes his move. Okay, well, I couldn't do it. Maybe my move gave him an opening. Kuzuki shortens the distance between him and Archer in an instant and strikes right between his eyes. A strike that would shatter anyone's skull, yet Archer decided not to dodge a deadly attack. Sound can be heard as the attack makes contact with Archer's head. Huh. In this one, yeah, Archer actually gets hit. The Red Knight chose to withstand Kuzuki's strike and use the opportunity to pierce through Kuzuki's chest. Well, I got a boobie this time, but at least it wasn't strengthened. Oh, he was going to die. Anyways, there's only silence. No one could utter a sound. Even I'm at a loss for words. Toichiro Kuzuki is dead. He died on the path he chose, like a ghost who left behind no words of longing, nor feelings of regret or hope. It's really interesting because he never basically showed any emotions, but him deciding to continue fighting for this war shows that he actually cared a lot for Castor. So like, I still can't get a read on the guy, you know? My head hurts. I'm not sure if it's because of my stress magic circuits is pressing against my nerves, or because I can't forgive Archer for killing Kuzuki without even batting an eye, or because I'm mad at myself for being utterly powerless to oppose it. Without knowing the cause, the sharp pain in my head gets even sharper. I turn my head towards the sound. Oh yeah, how's Saber doing now? With Castor gone, the binding curses should be undone. From the altar at the back of the church, Saber hits the floor. Oh my god. They really put me in this dress for fan service, I'm sure of it. Still lying on the floor, Saber's breathing is labored and in pain. Seeing her like that makes me forget about my headache.
Saber!
I rush towards her. I am annoyed that even the few meters between me and her feel so far away. Aww. She's so cute. I'm actually surprised that they have her in this dress as, like, you know, a portrait. I wasn't sure they were actually going to animate that, or at least draw that, because there haven't really been too many other outfits that they have actually dressed characters up in. Saber looks up. See me running towards her, Saber lets out a sigh of relief. Ooh, wait a second. You're not my master anymore. She suddenly tackles me and sends me flying. A sudden blow from the side. I was knocked down without resisting. Body sent flying and bounces hard against the floor. My back lands on first on the floor. I'm so confused by what just happened, but as I look up, in that moment, I hear the sound of metal clashing again. Oh, she's in her armor already. What I see is Saber armoring up. She's like, I have my free will again, yay! Oh wait, I have no mana, fuck! And right in front of her, on the ground where I had stood, there are multiple swords piercing the floor. Archer, you dick! It's him. He lets out a sound of disappointment as he keeps his sights on Saber. Rendel's like, wait a sec, I told him he can't do that. Oh right, I'm not his master anymore. Fuck! Not even able to stand upright, Saber glares at Archer. I don't have time to guess the reason. He fired his sword and tried to kill me from behind my back. Saber noticed that when he was what he's trying to do and instantly covered for me. He's just standing there. He's like, yes, I am the final boss. Tohsaka stands there looking at him, dumbfounded, while Saber wields her sword as if she's gasping for breath. Even if their positions are different, they harbor the same question. Now that Castor's defeated, why is Archer trying to kill Shirou Emiya? Berserker's also defeated, by the way, so I guess technically our truce should be over. Only Archer and I stood unfazed by the interaction. That's right, I'm not surprised at what just happened. We have despised each other from the very beginning. We have stood against each other knowing that we would never get along. We both reject each other's existence, not even knowing why. Why? The reason behind why we must reject each other. If it's really what I think it is, of course he would want to kill me. I try to stand up after being knocked to the floor. Saber is pretty desperate. He probably charged into me without being able to hold back. Because of that, she can barely catch her breath. That is why I must stand up. If the Saber I knew were to tackle me, it wouldn't be this weak. Yeah, she Currently has no master and no way of getting mana, so she's kind of fucked. Right now, she barely has enough strength to face even me. If she needs to go up against Archer in that body of hers, it'd be no different than suicide. You know, I just realized that, like, because of meta spoilers, we were always gonna win against Caster. Or most likely, because we only have one dead end left. Tiger told us that there's only one other Tiger dojo in this ending, and I think she said it was gonna be a little bit far ahead. I'm not exactly sure, but it was like a little bit ahead, so it's not today. So yeah, we were never going to die. Which means we're gonna survive against Archer, probably, when he's attacking us. Tohsaka approaches Archer. Of course, she's confused. Archer only sided with Caster so that he can betray her at the end and kill her. Now that he succeeded, there's no reason for Archer to attack me. Oh man, you wanna know how I beat Caster? It's because of this the skill I have called independent action, which means I don't have to listen to I don't have to listen to you. And right now he's technically not he's nobody's servant. Let's see, yeah, here, independent action. The ability to be independent for a while, even if the supply of magical energy comes from one's master runs out. If they're at B rank, it's possible to stay in this world for 2 days, even after they lose their master. Yep.
許さない。わからないな。なぜ私が許されなければならないのだ。私のマスターでもないお前に。
Yeah, you're what was it? Two-timing with Lancer, right? You joined forces with him.
お前との契約は切れている。自由になった私が自ら進んで人間の手下になると思うのか。
Tohsaka looks upon Archer like she can't believe what she just heard, but then suddenly a sudden realization hits her.
私は私の目的のためだけに行動する。だがそこにお前がいてはいささか面倒だ。
Get out of the way. Tohsaka jumps back. He distances herself from Archer and starts running towards me while I am still trying to stand up. Oh god, more swords! But Tohsaka was not able to do that. The storm of swords, 2 meters tall, is raining down. Damn, those are really big swords. It's taller than a normal human. The swords come down. Actually, that's very tall. The swords come down in a circular pattern, stabbing the floor to create a cage. A circular cage with barely enough space for a single human. The instant the cage is formed, Tohsaka is trapped in the middle of it. You know, at the very least, very nice of Archer to not just straight up kill her.
ここまで来て邪魔はさせん。契約が切れた今、お前にかけられた霊樹の縛りも存在しない。
That means I don't have to listen to you because that's your first command spell, and I don't have to not kill Shirou anymore. I forgot. Did Tohsaka ever use her last command spell? I don't remember if she did in this path. I know Shirou used all 3.
キャスターについた理由はそれだけだ。あの霊樹を無効にするためには契約を破棄せねばならなかったからな。
Oh, I thought the reason he did that was to backstab Caster, not to circumvent the command spell. Archer starts walking, turning his back on Tohsaka, who is now trapped in a cage of swords. He's not walking towards Saber, but walking towards me, while I still have my knee on the floor.
やっぱりなんでよあーちゃん、あんたまだシロを殺すつもりなの？
そう。自らの手でエミやシロを殺す。それだけが守護者となり果てた俺のただ一つの願望だ。
Fuck the Holy Grail, I can grant my wish right now.
何？
Strength is returning to Saber's body. He collects her thoughts, focuses her strength, and shifts between Archer and myself.
あーちゃん、あなたはまさか。
He's a guardian.
いつか言っていたな、セイバー。俺には英雄としての誇りがないのかと。
I think that was in the forest after our first contact with Ryder at the school. I think that was it. They had an argument there.
無論だ。そんなものがあるはずがない。この身を埋めているのは後悔だけだよ。
We have heard about his past a little through Tohsaka's dreams, about how he saved so many people, but never got really anything in return. He just kept getting betrayed and kept getting hurt. So his idea of being a hero is just a constant feeling of being betrayed.
俺はね、セイバー。英雄になどならなければよかったんだ。
Saber's will to fight is leaving her body. Maybe she has suddenly understood something. Whether it may be she no longer sees any animosity towards Archer, or no longer has any animosity.
そういうことだ。聞いているがいい、騎士を。マスターがいない身で無茶をすれば、すぐに消えるぞ。
Just 2 masterless servants. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take a second and look at the servant list. So, Saber is still here, Lancer is still here, Archer is still here, Rider is dead, Caster is dead, Assassin is, well, he's probably dead because, or he's probably going to die because his master is now gone, and Berserker is dead. So the only ones that we really have in the running, I mean, technically, like, oh, Saber and Archer and Assassin no longer have masters. Assassin's a really weird one because, well, he was summoned in a really irregular way, and I have no idea how the stuff works. But he's probably just gonna fade away because he can't leave Ryoto Temple anyway. So right now it's just Saber and Archer and Lancer.
もはやエミヤシロウにはマスターの資格がない。肩入れしたところで君の望みには届かない。
それはできない。マスターで亡くなったとしても契約は消えない。彼を守り剣になると誓った。聖杯戦争など知らなかった彼はそれでも私の一方的な誓いに応えてくれた。その信頼を裏切ることなどできない。
She holds up her invisible sword, but the brave and gallant knight is nowhere to be seen.
そうか。ならば偽りの主ともどもここで消えろ。
Now that you're weak, I can finally say this. I have class advantage, son. Swords form. Swords appear in Archer's hands. What? Saber can't even withstand Archer's attack as she is right now. I stand up and try to reach out for Saber. Maybe she's trying to stay away from my reach. Saber focuses all of her strength to hide her feet and rush towards Archer. The fight is over after a few rounds of trading blows. The old Saber would have undoubtedly overpowered Archer, but now she can barely swing her sword for seconds before she's down on her knees. Saber doesn't even have a sword in her hand anymore. In an effort to resist Caster's curse, she used up all of her magical energy. For Saber now, even taking in air is just an effort. She's facing down, all fours on the floor, and trying her hardest just to maintain her existence. Well, Archer raises his arms. He swings his sword down on the defenseless Saber. I rush in. Parry! And muster all of my strength to block Archer's attack. I hold up my 2 swords. With the weapons I instantly project in my hand, I fix my sight on the Red Knight. I believe that's the last he can project. He said he only had 2 swords left, and those are those 2.
あとしばらくはおとなしくしていると思ったがな。さすがに目の前で女が殺されるのは耐えられないか。
I mean, yeah, Shirou, he can't stand anyone being killed in front of him, much less a little girl and his teacher. The 2 of us continue to face off with each other. We both hold twin swords in our hands. Even though our stature may differ, our stance is absolutely identical.
人間もそこまで行けば本物だ。だが、お前の体はその魔術講師に耐えられるかな。
A clear mockery. But like he said, I'm at my limits. My headache won't stop, and my accelerated magical circuits are at their limit because of my repeated projection. In my current state, if I continue to trade blows with him while maintaining the swords, my brain will explode before he cuts me down.
前に忠告したな。お前に投影は扱えないと。分不相応の魔術は身を滅ぼす。お前をここまで生かしてきた奇跡の代償。
奇跡。
ここで支払うことになったな。 Emiya Shirou.
Sorry, I can't hear you. My brain hurts too much. What'd you say? Well, Archer is charging towards me. At that moment, I meet Archer's swords with my own, with such intensity as if it will make me forget about my headache. Pain through it. I swing my weapons. My movement is simply a mimicry of my opponent's. And my swords are borrowed, so is a skill to wield them. That's why there's no way I can match him. Yeah, he's been growing really quickly, but it's because he's able to more quickly adapt to Archer's swordsmanship. But because he's learning from Archer, Archer's is definitely better. Even if I'm at my peak condition, I'm not able to defeat him. A fake can come close to the real thing, but will never surpass it. That's why I didn't have a chance to stand up to this man from the beginning. That's why I took the verbal beating that he kept giving me, because I can't attack him back. He told me to drown holding to my ideals. He told me that my life was a lie. I couldn't say anything to him because he was my ideal. The power to realize the impossible. A man who became a heroic spirit after saving so many others. I am the one who wished to become like that. That's why I can't win. The man standing in front of me is one who has reached the end of my ideal. Man, you are my dream. You're everything I want to be, even though I hate it. If this man is truly the same person who wants to become stronger to save others, the embodiment of Shirou Emiya's ideals. Ugh. The swords shatter. While I was able to block his attacks, I lost my swords in the process. My consciousness, it's fading. My body is uninjured, but what's inside my body is bleeding, slowly withering away.
納得がいったか。それがエミヤシロウの限界だ。無理を積み重ねてきたお前にはふさわしい幕切れだろう。
Said this is the limit, but I had to go past my limits. Shonen protagonist time. Oh god. He raised his sword. Just when I try to discern which side the sword is going to cut down with my fading consciousness. If you don't want to be my servant, then fine. Tohsaka's dignified voice echoes in the church. He's like, wait a second. Oh no. Maybe he was distracted by that. The sword strike loses its momentum, if that's the case. Even in my current body, I can dodge that attack. I roll away on the floor to create some distance. Archer clicks his tongue. He doesn't go after me and looks at Saber on the floor. Then answer me. Thus shall I place my fate stay night by your sword. This is a pretty cool CG. You can even see the reflection of her hand on the swords. But this is a really smart play from Tohsaka. Tohsaka's reaching her hand out to Saber from the cage of swords. Responding to her call, Saber rushes to Tohsaka with all her strength. Yes, we finally get the team up, the dream team. Rin always wanted a Saber, and Saber was like, yes, I finally have magical energy. This is the contract that should have happened. Saber is finally able to get the master she deserves. Yeah! Oh my god! It's Super Saiyan Saber! Oh, go even further beyond! Wind gathers and whirls around Saber. Perhaps it's because she's gotten her real power back that she now has a proper master. Saber is facing Archer now and is not the same person as she was before. What is this? I'm not the only one stunned by this sight. Even Archer is enchanted by what's happening. A surge of magical energy and a set of armor that's impervious to damage. That enormous magical energy, which is enough to overwhelm anyone, is truly infinite. That is Saber, the heroic spirit of the sword that's said to be the most powerful of servants. He's like, damn it, I just needed to kill this one fucker so that she wouldn't order me not to anymore. Please give me this. Maybe he can't spare any effort on me anymore, but Archer is only focusing on Saber. Just let me kill this dude first. Saber says with determination. Irritated by her words, Archer grips his swords.
あなたこそどうするのです、アーチャー。あなたが白を手にかけるというのなら、私は全力でそれを阻む。考え直すのなら今のうちです。今の私を相手にして勝機があるとは思わないでしょう。
Saber's words are true. Saber, at inner condition, can now go against Berserker one-on-one and still walk away victorious. Oh, damn. Man, if you think about it, maybe the correct thing to do in the Fate Stay Night route would be to have Shirou give up Saber as a servant and let Tohsaka take Saber after Archer dies. Because that way, Tohsaka would be able to pilot Saber with the correct amount of magical energy. I don't know how true this statement is. If Saber, in her optimal condition, can beat Berserker one-on-one, but that's what they're saying. It doesn't matter who Archer is. He can't win against Saber. He understands that better than anyone else. Yet. That juicy Tohsaka magical energy, though. Not letting her respond, Archer charges at Saber. Swords clash. A bolt of crimson rushes towards Saber, and Archer swings with all of his might. Saber blocks that attack without even flinching. Their difference in stature, and even Archer's sudden burst of speed, makes no difference. Saber parries Archer's attack with ease. Yet Archer is the one who falls back despite being on the offense. A single strike with utmost power and precision. Oh, this is Saber's true power. Not only was it blocked, he even lost his balance in the process. God damn it! Archer falls back without hesitation. Seeing an opening, Saber attacks Archer with a fierce onslaught. There's nothing Archer can do other than block Saber's attacks. If he tries to counter, Sable's sword will split his skull in that opening. No, he doesn't even have to spare efforts to think about countering. The only resistance allowed for Archer is blocking Saber's attack until he runs out of strength. Even then, that won't last long. He has no magical energy, haha! The magical energy imbued in Saber's swords is chipping away at Kancho and Bakuya. But twin swords can't stand any more of Saber's attacks, nor does Archer have much strength left. Clang clang! The end came sooner than expected. Not able to withstand Saber's assault, Archer falls down on his knees. Saber stops for a short moment and then swings down her sword. That decisive strike, Archer stopped it with the cross formed by his swords. It's a cross block. The fight ends there. While Archer did stop Saber's attack, he can't move another inch. And Archer keeps going up against servants that are like a little bit above his weight class. Like Lancer, for example, he is like, I keep facing off against these really strong people, but I keep barely managing to survive. Except for Berserker. He was a different monster. If he lets go even an ounce of his strength, Saber's sword will cut him in half from the skull down. Pouring all his strength into his arms, Archer stops Saber's strike. Sweat is dripping down Archer's forehead, and he's gasping for breath. In contrast, Saber is calm and collected. In close-range combat, it's impossible for an Archer serving class to win against a Saber class servant. I mean, I was gonna say Gilgamesh was able to... I don't really know how to describe Gilgamesh because technically he did go into CQC against Saber, but he didn't actually use CQC. Like he was in close range, but when he was in close range, it was still like, I'll just throw this sword at you from a distance. So like, does it count if you're using range techniques in close combat?
ここまでです、アーチャー。先ほど私の身を案じていましたが、それはあなたにも言えることだ。キャスターを倒すためにあれだけの宝具を使った今、魔力は残り少ないはずです。
I'm just thinking it'd be funny. It's like, all right, now let's come to this. Shirou, we have to team up together to beat Saber. It's like, no, you dickhead.
加えて、この世に留まるためのマスターもいない。魔力の供給もままならない。今のあなたに何ができる？
I mean, he has independent action. He can act for 2 days, according to the description.
それこそ余計な世話だ、セイバー。アーチャーのサーバントにはマスターがおらずとも単独で存在する能力がある。マスターを失ったとしても2日は存命できよう。
2 days, 2 days.
あの小僧を仕留めるには十分だ。
バカ まだそんなことを言うのですか。あなたの望みは聖杯ではなくシロを殺すことだとでも。
Archer didn't respond. His cold eyes simply stare at the baffled and troubled Saber.
なんということを。アーチャー、あなたの望みは間違っている。なぜそのような結末を望むのですか。そんなことをしてもあなたは。
You won't be saved. Saber bites down on her lips before she can finish her sentence.
間違えているか。
Wait, does she know who he is? He's like, you won't be saved. Even if you want this, it's not gonna help you in any way. Archer puts more strength into his arms. He stares back at Saber.
それはこちらのセリフだ、セイバー。君こそいつまで間違った望みを抱いている。
A brief moment of sadness flickers in Archer's eyes as he asks Saber.
アーチャー、
Saber's grip on her sword weakens. Ugh. Ow! Cheap shot! Archer seizes the opportunity to free himself and uses the opening to kick Saber off. Saber was sent backward from the kick, but she lands with grace. The situation doesn't change from a minute ago. Stalemate between Saber, who is protecting me, and Archer, who has his back turned to the caged Tohsaka. The distance between the two has extended to about 5 meters.
分かりきっていたことだが、やはり剣技では及ばぬか。
The sword in his hand disappears, and he faces Saber empty-handed.
アーチャー、剣を捨てたということは戦いを。
まさか。君こそ思い違いはよせ。俺はアーチャーだぞ。もとより、剣で戦うものではない。
After saying that, is he gonna say it?
I'm the bone of my soul.
Yo, he's saying it. I am the bone of my sword. In a whisper, Archer starts with the incantation.
やめろアーチャー、私はあなたとは。
We can still be together.
セイバー、いつかお前を解き放つ者が現れる。
That day is not today.
それは今回ではないようだが、おそらくは次もお前と関わるのは私なのだろうよ。
Oh, huh.
Unknown to death, unknown to life.
I know he's saying it in English. I don't have to repeat it, but I've never actually done this chant, so I kind of want to say it. Unknown to death, nor known to life. The incantation echoes in the church. Nothing changes in the surrounding. An incantation that long will most certainly affect the environment. Magecraft is something that works by exerting influence on the world itself. However, his incantation doesn't do it, but...
だが、それはあくまで次の話。今の俺の目的は、エミやシロを殺すことだけだ。
Bro is really just interrupting himself.
それを阻むのならば、この世界は、お前が相手でも容赦はせん。
Oh, his face was super angry. He raises his left arm. Does that mean he's completing his incantation?
Unlimited blade works.
Unlimited blade works. He title dropped the part. With a clear phrase, he starts to exert his influence on the world. Flames erupting. The flames trace across the floor as if drawing a line. Does that mean that the flames are creating a boundary around the church? The bright luminescence generated by the flame envelops the church. In an instant, the church was replaced by the strange landscape. The gears are turning, the swords, the graveyard of swords. Oh, you see him in that stance. Oh, this is a really cool CG actually. His hair looks a little bit different. It's in a different style. Oh man, he got his eyes closed looking down. And yeah. My headache is overpowering my thoughts. I can understand this magecraft, this bizarre scenery. It should be possible for me to understand, but I was able to decipher what is happening in front of my eyes naturally. So, this is his ultimate technique, his noble phantasm, his true noble phantasm. And that fact is hurting my head more than anything. To sum it up in one word, this is a forge. Burning flames and rotating gears in the sky. Swords with no wielders are scattered across this wasteland. Every blade across the landscape is a famed sword. Even the Kancho and Bakuya he used were we from this world. In a way, it's kind of similar to the Gilgamesh if you think about it, because they're just making so many weapons. They're making everything except for a fucking bow and arrow. You're an archer, for God's sake, stop making swords. But no, okay, this archer has actually been using a lot of bow and arrow stuff. We saw him use it against Caster, we saw him use it against Berserker, but like really truly the basis of his technique is still swords, because he also motherfucking loves swords. A seemingly infinite projection of swords, of weapons. The countless weapons make this place look like a junkyard. Actually, it's actually more than just swords. Yeah, he's right. It's different weapons. Although here I mainly see swords. I do think I see like a naginata or a spear like near the right side. And standing in the middle of this wasted kingdom is the Red Knight. There is obvious confusion in Saber's words. Voice. Standing in the cold phantom flame, she looks at the Red Knight bewildered. Reality marble. You know, they have changed the name of this technique over the years. I believe now it is called a domain expansion.
つまりあんたは剣士でもなければ弓兵でもなくて
そう生前英霊となる前は魔術師だったということだ
Yo, Caster Archer when? Tohsaka speaks calmly. Does that mean she already knew? She knows his true identity? Maybe she has already discerned Archer's identity?
ではアーチャー、あなたの宝具は
そんなものはない私は政権も魔剣も持ってなどいなかったからな俺が持ち得るのはこの世界だけだ
Damn, his eyes are open now. They're kind of empty.
宝具が英霊のシンボルだというのならこの魔術こそが俺の宝具武器であるのならばオリジナルを見るだけで複製し貯蔵するそれが俺の英霊としての能力だ
That's why he was really able to understand Shirou, because he was also very skilled in projection and weapons. Saber can't believe what she's heard. He looks around bewildered, seeing only swords in this wasteland, swords that feel no different than unmarked gravestones. This place is filled with this place filled with wasteland. Wait. Do you say it's filled with wasteland or it is a wasteland? Yeah, no. This place filled with wasteland and iron, covered by the lonely gray sky.
これがあなたの世界だというのか、アーチャー。
Man, I reference JJK a lot, or Jujutsu Kaisen, because I do like that IP, and it's like really hype and really cool. But it does kind of bum me that like that domain expansion is literally just a reality marvel. It's literally just that.
そうだ試してみても構わんぞセイバーお前の政権確実に複製してみせよ
I already know what it is.
私の政権。その正体を知って言うのか、アーチャー。
But it was invisible. It's like, no, you actually took it out for a second there.
もちろんあれほどのものになると完全な複製はできぬが真に迫ることはできるとなればどうなる政権同士が衝突した時周りの人間は生きていられるか
Oh man, I'll summon this, not to beat you, but the resulting explosion will kill Shirou.
アーチャー、あなたは。
そういうことだ間違っても政権を使うなセイバー使えば俺も抵抗せざるを得ないその場合消えるのは我々ではなく
Damn.
人間だお前のことだ自身を犠牲にしてもそこの小僧を守るだろう俺とて政権など投影しては自滅するとなれば生き残るのは
Wow.
一人だけそれではあまりにも意味がない
Damn. He really thought this through. It's like, okay, if you use your Excalibur, everyone except Shirou will die, and that's literally everything that I don't want to happen, because I just want that little boy to die. Archer raises his left arm. At the signal, the swords start to levitate behind him.
抵抗はするな。運が良ければ即死することもない。ことが済んだ後、お前のマスターに癒してもらえ。
Archer's finger points at Saber. Countless swords turn and point at Saber. She's like, I'm getting a sense of deja vu. I get the feeling that I've had to survive against a bajillion swords aiming at me in a different timeline. Do you know someone named Gilgamesh? Every single one of those swords is capable of delivering killing blow.
かわすのもいいが、その背後の男は諦めろ。
He gives his command to the swords. Even make the same goddamn sound as Gate of Babylon. The infinite swords that start their assault. Saber can't afford to move a single inch from her spot. Knowing a single mishap could be fatal, Saber grips the sword in her hand and strikes down each and every sword that rains down. Oh, he's like, I got that too, bitch. A headache is taking away my ability to think. My magic circuits will only last for one more try. My devastated insides are scorched beyond recognition and on the verge of melting. But all of that stops mattering from the moment I saw his world. The next thing I know, I'm focusing my strength and running up next to Saber, fixing my eyes on those annoying swords. Who cares? If my eyes can't keep up with the flurry of swords, then what I need to do now is let my sense take over and analyze them. Gotta go on autopilot. Even if my head can't process any faster, I'm still pushing it beyond its limits. The next wave of swords is coming. It feels as if the hammer of a gun knocks down on the back of my head. I reach out my left arm. I also have a left arm for now. I don't have a shred of doubt. I copied so many up until now. If the logic and the method behind what I did was correct, then there's no way I can't copy the flurry of swords before me. Oh, I love swords! Oh. Unlimited Blade Works was deactivated. It seems like we're back in the church. Fragments shatter around us. When I open my eyes, this reality marble or whatever it was called is gone. What remains are the scattered fragments of swords and... My head fucking hurts! Ah! A hellish feeling of nausea that makes me gag, as if I'm about to throw up my own organs. He's like, damn Brad. He stares at me with animosity. Archer grabs Tohsaka out of her cage of swords and restrains her. Tohsaka violently moves her body, trying to get away from Archer's grasp. He's like, wait, he's not trying to actually hurt me, just... I don't know. Oh no, she got KO'd. I don't know what he's done, but Archer puts his hand on the back of Tohsaka's neck, and her consciousness is gone. After that, he decides to leave the church. He holds Tohsaka in his arms as he leaps up the stairs that led to the ground above.
これ以上邪魔の入らないところだ。俺は今ので魔力切れだしな。
I'll be back.
守られた小僧を仕留めるだけの力はない。
リンを連れて行くのは人質ですか？
いや、交換条件だ。
Oh.
俺の手元にある限り、そこの小僧は俺を追わざるを得ない。
It's insurance.
加えて、リンはお前のマスターになった。いかにお前が小僧を守ろうと。マスターの命には変えられない。
I'm trying to fight this nausea, trying hard to hold on so I don't pass out, respond to his nonsense. And then, exhausted, I tell him without even looking at him.
何？
だから郊外の森だ。そこに使われていない城がある。あそこなら。And they're
getting a lot of mileage out of Ilya's house. I mean, it's like, oh, well, no one's using it, she's dead. But, yeah, it's like, I forgot to tell you, it takes 4 hours to get there, by the way.
Shirou.
俺に文句があるんだろう。いいぜ、聞いてやる。言いたいことがあるのはこっちだって同じなんだ。
I'm fading in and out of my consciousness. Despite the nauseating sickness, I told him as much.
郊外の森。そうか。 アインツベルの城があったな。
I feel like I've died there in one ending. Did I die there?
確かにあの城ならば邪魔は入らない。いい覚悟じゃないか、エミヤシロ。
うるさい。そんなことより。
I don't want to hear his flattery. If I had to listen to any more of it, my innards might burst out of my body from the unbearable pain.
それまで遠坂に手を出してみろ。その時はセイバーの手を借りてでもお前を殺してやる。
If you don't, if you hurt Tohsaka, I'll tell on you. Mom, Saber, help me please. A sharp pain attacks me. I warn him in rage and claw at my head to fight my headache.
よかろう。場所を指定した見返りだ。一日は安全を保証してやる。
One day.
だが急げよ。マスターがいない今、俺とて時間がない。この身は2日と持たぬだろう。その前にお前を殺せないとあらば、腹いせに人質を手にかけかねんからな。
Wow. I mean, to be fair, he is both accepting Shirou's request but also working within the boundaries of his limits. He doesn't want to kill Tohsaka, but he will if he needs to do that to get his wish fulfilled. His annoying laughter lingers in my ear after he leaves. Ugh. I fell down on my knee before I can see him leave.
シロ、無茶をして、いくらあなたでもアーチャーと同じ投影をするのは早すぎます。
She holds me down as I fall. Oh wait, no, sorry. She holds me as I fall down. No, she holds me down. Oh, Saber, let go of me, please. I try to stand up while holding my head.
シロ、それはいいのです。リンは無事だ。アーチャーもリンには手を出さないでしょう。
I believe in Archer because he's a knight and he's chivalrous, despite all the shit he just did,
それより、
including backstabbing
今はあなたの方が
2
危ない。
times.
リンのことは私に任せて、シロは家で休息を取るべきです。
いや、そんな暇は。
I feel like passing out as I try to finish that sentence. Oh, damn it. I can't believe this. It seems I don't even have the strength left to form words.
話は後で聞きます。
Oh, man.
今はあなたを家に連れて帰る。いいですね。
Sorry, Saber, what you say? You're looking quite 144p right now. Okay, that's better. I don't even have time to say anything back. Saber lends me your shoulder as we're walking towards the stairs. Ooh, okay. Sky is still gray. We leave the now deserted church. Oh, he never left. Damn. Actually, let's see the flowchart. Okay, now we're all here. So there are a few more events left on this day, so maybe there's a few left here. Oh wow, on the other route, this is when we actually met with Gilgamesh. Then we had two more days. There. The clearing in front of us is a familiar spearman. I thought, you know what? It's like I thought you're gonna take Archer down. I thought one of you guys would die. Well, why? But actually, it's because Lancer let Archer go that Archer was actually able to take care of Castor. Oh yeah, Saber's like, wait a minute, enemy servant. Saber glares at him while supporting me. She's so tense that she would slash him without hesitation if he took another step.
いや、違うんだ、セイバー。あいつは俺たちの手助けをしてくれた。
She's like, wait, what?
ランサーがシロに協力したというのですか？
Yeah, he's actually a pretty cool dude.
そうだ。できれば今は戦わないでくれ。
I mean, technically our truce is over, but Saber stares at Lancer in astonishment. It seems he's fully enjoying Saber's reaction. He's like, man, you're really fucking around with her, and that's funny.
それはわかりましたが、なぜですランサー？あなたがシロたちに協力するなど何か企みがあるのですか？
I mean, it's advantageous because if he didn't participate, then Castor would have 3 servants under her belt.
Ah?
バ
カだろお前。んなもんあるに決まってんじゃねえか。裏で企んでなきゃよその手助けなんかするか。
I got my wicked evil plans. She's like, I walked into that one. I knew he was that kind of guy, but he's thorough as if he's making fun of Saber as well.
何がおかしいのです、シロ。
God, Saber is really cute. When she looks like this, it's like, what are you talking about?
今笑ってたか俺。
ええ、笑っていました。どうやら私の思い違いだったようですね。エミがこぼれるほど元気があるのなら、この肩を貸すまでもなかったようですが。
And I threw him on the ground. Oh, it's bad, but that made me a bit relieved. Saber's the same as before. Our connection is gone, but she's here, just like before. Then, what's there to regret?
悪い、気が緩んだみたいだ。今はそんな場合じゃなかったな。
はい。リンを取り戻すにしても、今は休まなければ。ランサー、何が目的かは知らぬが、もはや用は済んだのだろう。ならばさ、
You're down for another truces?
今はあなたとは戦わない。
She declares in a dignified manner and goes down to the clearing.
あ？おい。万事守備よく言ったってわけじゃなさそうだな。何が起きたんだ、オズ。
Yeah, give me the deets. I was out here the entire time.
トーサカがアーチャーに連れて行かれた。これから取り戻しに行くだけだ。
I bury my dizziness and answer looking into Lancer's eyes.
何？
It's like, what?
それはどういうことだ？
That's what happened after I let Archer go? That son of a bitch. Sorry, but I don't have any energy left. I can't give such a long explanation, so I should go home and...
アーチャーの目的はシロを殺すことです。そのために私のマスターとなったリンをさらい、交換条件としてシロに一騎打ちを命じました。
I do feel that if I were in Lancer's POV, I'd be like, hold up. So now, Rin's your master. Whereas Caster's out of the picture. Archer kidnapped his former master, and he wants to kill this other man. What is going on?
一日中にアーチャーの元に行かなければ、リンの安全は保証しないそうです。
Well, it was helpful of you to explain on my behalf, but there's no point in telling Lancer that, Saber.
やろう。やりやがったな。
I guess there was a point. He's like, I like that girl too. That dickhead. Then, he takes off his friendly face and grits his teeth.
ランサー。
つまりあれか。あの野郎、一度ならず二度までお嬢ちゃんを裏切ったってわけ。
he's like, man, this guy's a real piece of shit. I fucking hate that.
ええ、そういうことになりますが、それがどうしたと。
I think that's what makes Lancer like kind of likable, because he does have like a set of principle he follows by, and the only reason why he kind of sucks is because his master is Kira, who doesn't want him to actually be a cool dude. But I can understand Saber's confusion in this, because literally the only time she's seen Lancer was freaking killing Shirou. And he just kind of ran away. But now she actually gets like another chance to interact with him, and he's just this dude that's kind of chilling and kind of cool. He's trying to help out, and he's angry on the behalf of like her now current master. She's like, whoa, I didn't expect this. I thought you were just trying to kill people.
どうしたじゃねえ。くそ、気が変わった。手助けするのはこれっきりだったがな。もう少し付き合わせろ。このままじゃ寝覚めが悪い。
Lancer spits out as and starts walking. Saber stares at Lancer silently. I understand how she feels. Lancer's back looked as if he was telling us that he'll join us.
参った。素人にはどんな魔術を使って彼を味方に引き入れたのです。
It's called the power of friendship. Saber's voice sounds more shocked than amazed. But unfortunately, I don't have the energy to answer, and my wounds are starting to get hurt again. Nah, first of all, I'm the one who wants to ask that question. That was kind of funny. He's like, wait, what? How is he on our side now? It's another interlude. This is the third one. Wait, is it the third one? Okay, wait. We have interlude with Lancer. And then we have the interlude with Tohsaka. So yeah, this is the third one. And I recall his dream. Okay, so we're definitely in Tohsaka's POV. The memory of the man who was set up as a hero. Story of a knight whose end came to a place that I can't reach. Ah, it's the scenery again. The hill is his world. If you think about it, Saber's world is, you know, another hill. The desolate wasteland that the man obtained by fighting for others. Apparently, he died smiling in satisfaction, holding on to this view.
バカじゃないの、本気で。
Yes, that just makes me seriously mad. He tried his best, worked hard, even though he was only an ordinary person, and finally obtained a miracle with his own blood. Then, it'll be a lie if he doesn't become happy. If he made many people happy, then he had to become happier than all those people combined. But he did not receive such a reward. The only thing he was given was the fate to be used as a guardian after his death. Eternal work, overtime, but with no pay. That's right. Why didn't I realize that? Guardians are summoned into every age. Doesn't mean that they're summoned from doesn't that mean that they're summoned from every age? In other words, from the present and the past. And heroic spirits can even be summoned from the future we have not seen yet. For guardians who are pushed into a position off the axis of time, the concept of time does not exist. At the point that they become a heroic spirit, they sublimate into something other than what they used to be when they were human. Yep. Then, it is possible for a guardian to be summoned into the place and age they lived in when they were alive. It's vexing when I think about it. It's because neither of them gets salvation. The one that watches his past self, or the one that watching his eventual self, they will only hurt by how they changed. I already knew that the end of this big idiot who tried to be of help to others. He became a guardian by choice. He thought that it was more than he could ask for if he could save people even after he died. He did not have the power to save people when he was alive. He believed that he could break through any tragedy as a heroic spirit. Thinking so, he made a contract with the world to give his body after death and save hundreds of lives. He believed he would be able to save tens of thousands of people and more after that. But he was betrayed by such a hope. Places where heroic spirits and guardians appear are only hell. They only appear when the world is about to be destroyed by people. Humans are beings that perish by their own doings. That is why the process of destruction should always be the same. He was only summoned to those hells. The lands where the ones he wanted to save were already dead. He killed even more people. The boy who said that he didn't want to see anyone cry could only see humans crying forever. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's actually kind of messed up. There's only one thing I can say. He has been betrayed by many things the whole time. And the very end, he was even betrayed by the only thing he believed in, his ideal. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons, yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works! That was the only spell he was given. What is that? Makes me so mad that I want to beat his chest and scold him. I, Rin Tohsaka, have never had any hardships in my life. I'm perfect in every way and I've never made any mistakes until right now. So I might not have the right to say it, but I believe in working hard and going through pain. It's wrong not to be rewarded for your battles. That's why I'm angry at his unrewarded life, and most of all, I can't leave him, who end up cursing his life be. As long as you're my servant, I won't do anything other than what I believe in. I'm not as naive as oh wait, yeah, okay, that was Rin talking. I'm not as naive as Shirou Emiya, but there are still things that I cannot give up. No matter who it is, I don't have the intention of giving it up. That's right. That's why I swore that as long as I'm his master, I will believe in my path like he used to do. That's about all I can show him. That's about the only way I can repay him. That might have been meaningless, but at least I do it so that Archer, who lost sight of his own past, could realize that his life was something he can be proud of. Wow. I thought this house would look better, but this basement, come on, really? The first thing I notice when I wake up from my slumber are the sensations in my limbs. They hurt, and I can't move them. Man, I didn't know you were into this bondage shit. Plus, I'm sitting in a chair that seems to be sleeping in an unnatural position. I don't want to admit it, but I'm in the worst possible situation. So you're probably wondering how I got here. To be honest, I can't do anything. My hands are behind the chair and restrained by something like handcuffs. My ankles are the same, and I can't stand from my chair. On top of that, my handcuffs and shackles are magecraft resistant, and my magic circuits are so messed up that I can't even create magical energy. And this place is dirty as fuck. I thought you were good at cleaning. Clean this place immediately, Archer. I command you. Oh, fuck. Now that I confirmed my situation, I check my surroundings. It's cold. The room is made of stone, has no heater, and it is an abandoned place that hasn't been used for a while. It's dark outside the windows, from the looks of it. It's probably past 10 p.m. or so. It doesn't look that dark.
で、どういうつもりよ、アーチャー。
I glare into the darkness, the shadow of the pillar. The knight in red is sitting on a pile of rubble.
どうもこうもない。お前はエミヤシロを釣る餌だ。
私がいなくたってシローなら勝手に来るわよ。そんなこと、あなたならわかるでしょうに。
Love how they both said, "You should know that." Come on, we didn't have to have this conversation.
そうだな。だが、そこにお前のことが済むまで、目障りな邪魔者には
Just
ここでお
insurance.
となしくしていてもらう。
You as backup is not good for me. Archer states without appearing in front of me. There's no sign of previous intimacy. He really is a calm assassin now. He's actually an archer, not assassin.
そう。どうあってもシローを殺すっていうのね、あなた。
ああ。あのような甘い男は今のうちに消えた方がいい。
He replies, as if it's only natural. The only thing I can see from here is his shadowed side profile. His expression is cold, as if he's wearing a mask. That makes me seriously infuriated.
シローが甘いってことは言われなくても分かってるけど。
Come on, that observation, so stupid. We all know that. I take a breath. It'll end if I say this. Archer will never come back to me if I say that. I take a breath and stare at that man in the shadows.
それでも私はあいつの甘いところが愛しいって。
Oh, she loves that part of her.
あいつはああでなくちゃいけないって。ああいうやつがいてもいいんだって救われてる。けど、あんたはどうなの？そこまでやっておいて、身勝手な理想論を振りかざすのは間違ってるって思ったわけ。何度も何度も他人のために戦って、何度も何度も裏切られて、何度も何度もつまらない後始末をさせられて。
Speaking of cleaning up, can you please clean up this room?
それで人間ってものに愛想が尽きたっていうの？あっちゃん。
I get even more angry as I speak, and I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. Archer doesn't have an answer. His side profile, consumed in the shadows, is no longer the side profile that I know. Oh, is that the end of the interlude? It is. I'm not gonna say who Archer is, but they gave a lot of hints the past like 2 episodes. So, yeah.
全ての人間を救うことはできない。
When I heard that from the man I believe could save everyone, all I felt was repulsion. I mean, you know for a fact that he couldn't save everyone. He was only able to save you.
いいかいしろ。正義の味方に救えるのは味方をした人間だけだ。
I didn't like those words either. I didn't want the person who I thought was a hero of justice himself to say such realistic things. Since that time, my life has been trying to overturn those words. There's no need for sacrifices. Nobody will be hurt if you work hard and do your best. My old man must have always admired that as well. So,
安心した。
I can't look away from his final moments. Tohsaka said that such a life is distorted. I know. I realized that a long time ago. There's no such thing as a world where nobody gets hurt. And there's no happiness where nobody gets hurt. Such a convenient utopia does not exist anywhere in this world. The hero of justice that I'm trying to become is just hypocrisy.
人助けの果てには何もない。
There's just more people that you try to save, but they've already been in pain. They've already, you know, fucked up, and everyone is already fucked up. So, I know that without having to be told.
他人も自分も救えない偽りのような人生だ。
Yeah, even if that's true, I won't let you say it. I don't care if anyone other than himself denies it, but I won't let him say it. The same things. We have the same beginnings, and even if I were to turn out like that, no. That's why I have to deny him, so that he doesn't approve of the former Shirou Emiya. As long as I'm here, I won't approve of him. Even if this dream is distorted, If I believe in this and decide that I will keep on believing in it, then I wake up. I look at the clock right away and see that it's past 11 p.m. Oh, it's bedtime. Time to go to sleep.
目が覚めましたか、シロ。
Saber says in a calm voice, sitting on her knees. It's already been half a day since we came back from the church. She must have been watching over me the whole time I was unconscious.
ああ、起きた。体も問題ないよ。疲れも取れたし、頭痛も消えた。
Great. Now, Shirou, make me a sandwich. I'm really hungry. I get up from bed. The sensations in my limbs are back to usual. The magic circuits that I overuse is still exhausted, but it hasn't been burned up.
行くのですか、シロ。
Saber suddenly asks. The answer is obvious, so I silently nod back.
わかりました。では私も同行します。ですがシロ。リンは私のマスターです。彼女を救い出すのは私の役目だ。アーチャーは私が止めますから、シロは。
逆だ、セイバー。アーチャーとは俺がやる。
I'm gonna fucking die. I interrupt Saber. He looks at me uneasily.
それはダメだ、シロ。アーチャーはあなたの。
He hesitates, having a hard time saying it.
分かってる。あいつが何者なのかは多分出会った時から分かってた。
I knew it since I first laid my eyes upon him. I was repulsed by him without reason from the first time we met. That is consistent. He always hated him. I stubbornly hated him, thinking that I could not approve of him. That's only natural. Any person would look away if they are shown their mistakes.
けど、だからこそあいつがしたことは認めない。あいつとだけは俺が決着をつけなくちゃいけないんだ。
I stand up. My body is in great condition. There's only half a day until time is up. I can't spend any more time resting.
シロ。
こんなことを言える立場じゃないけど、頼む、セイバー。アーチャーとは俺がやる。その時、どうなっても手を出さないでいてほしい。
This truly is the route where it's like, masters can't beat servants unless. I bow as I ask Saber.
いいえ、そのようなことをする必要はありません。シロ、あなたがそう望むのなら、私はそれに従いましょう。この身はあなたの盾になると誓ったのです。その行く末を最後まで見届けます。
Her answer is perfect. Her dignified voice sweeps away the uneasiness lingering on my mind.
ありがとう。セイバーが見守ってくれるんなら心強い。
はい。私もあなたがそうであってくれて嬉しい、シロ。
She smiles back. We prepared for departure now. We leave my house. Who would have thought that we would go back to that castle again?
おい、お前ら、人の話聞いてねえだろ。
I said I'd join you guys and you made me wait 12 hours. Like, come on, God.
は？
We both turn around. Man, I wish they gave Lancer a casual outfit. Honestly, how many servants have we seen that have different outfits? I think the only one we've seen is Saber, but that's because we're always with Saber. I guess they can't really materialize clothes, I think. But when I think about it, nobody ever has any other clothes. Oh, Berserker doesn't even have clothes. Actually, no. The other archer has clothes. He has his casual black jersey outfit. Kind of wish they would have some servants up here, like Lancer here, just wearing something else. I know, like, I don't know if it's canon, but a lot of times when he's not in like battle armor, he's just wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Like fishing or something, being used as a weapon by Berserker. Come to think of it, Lancer was still here. Yeah, I forgot about that.
なんだ、案外暇なんだな、あんた。
Blame my master, he sucks. It just slips out. He's like, I'm not gonna deny that. He seems to be aware of it himself, and as he doesn't seem to deny it.
ランサー、あなたが何を企んでいるかは知りませんが、私たちに同行しても得るものはありません。アーチャーはすでにマスターを持たないサーバント。あなたのマスターが倒したがるとは思えませんが。
ああ、分かってる分かってる。別にアーチャーの野郎をどうこうしようって気はねえ。
I don't care about that dude.
手は出さねえから安心しろ。
では何のためについてこようというのです。私との決着を望むのならここでつけても構いませんが。
いや、それも願い下げだな。俺は貴様のマスターと敵対する気はない。むしろ売りたいのはオンでね。ここらで貸しを作っておこうと、そういう腹だ。
Aww, Saber glares at Lancer. It took me a second to realize that he was talking about Rin because I was like, wait, but I'm right here. You want her master? Oh, right, we're not her master anymore. And Lancer aloofly ignores her stare.
わかった。好きにしろ。遠坂を助ける手助けをしてくれるなら、こっちも助かる。
シロ、ランサーは敵です。そのような軽い決断は。
その点は大丈夫だろう。そいつ、根性ひん曲がってるけど、嘘を言うやつじゃないし、何より回りくどいことなんてできない。俺たちを騙して。
それはそうです。しかし。
いや、セイバーが嫌だって言うなら追っ払う。けどこいつ、放っておいてもついてくるぞ。それなら、そばにいさせて監視した方が楽だろう。
たった数日で随分と口がうまくなったのですね、シロ。
I had to deal with a lot of Tohsaka. Of course, I had to improve my speech.
いや、いろいろあったから。ま、そういうことだ、ランサー。俺たちもあんたに関与しないから、あんたも俺たちには口を出さない。それでいいなら一緒に行こ
う。In other words, we'll just do our own thing. I called to Lancer, who was watching us with a smile.
十分だ。いや、いいコンビじゃねえか。
If I didn't know any better, I would have thought you guys were master and servant.
セイバーは見ての通り融通が利かないからな。お前が大人になってくれて助かったぜ。
そのようなことはありません。融通が利かないのはむしろシロの方だ。私がどれほど苦労したか、あなたに何がわかるのです。
He is very right. Shirou is pretty hard on his ideals.
さあ、なんだ？聞けば話してくれるのか、セイバー。いいぜ。城までは随分とある。道中お前の苦労話を魚としよ
う。なぜ私がそのようなことを説明しなくてはならないのです。それこそあなたには無関係ではないですか。
Saber accuses Lancer. Whoa, Saber and Lancer really don't get along. I didn't think that Saber would yell like Tohsaka.
それより行くぞ。遊んでる暇はないんだ。できるだけ早く城に行かなくちゃいけないんだからな。
I'll leave the two behind and start walking. We're not done here. We're not done. Mark my words. He must still be worked up as she yells as she catches up. Lancer keeps his distance from us and follows us aloofly. It's the moon. It's midnight. I know how long it takes to get to the castle from here. We should be able to make it in time. We'll most likely get there by dawn. We'll head towards the masterless old castle in the forest and start walking in the night. Ooh, well, that's probably the end of the day, right? Oop. Yep. Oh, well, yeah, we finally finished the fight against Caster. Caster, who kind of dominated this route so far. He was like the big bad for, I want to say, like at least 40% of the game. He's just been a constant thorn and a major threat, and then she's finally just gone. Just backstabs, just like Tohsaka was backstabbed. But yeah, that was cool. But then we have Archer's true motivations, which is try to kill Shirou, as he also drops his noble phantasm, Unlimited Blade Works. And yeah, now it seems like our next adversary is Archer. Like I said, they've hint dropped a lot of things for Archer, specifically in the last 2 episodes, like this, or rather the last day. And honestly, they have been hint dropping several things throughout the route, and a little bit even from the route before, but very little from the route before because Archer was barely in it. But at this point, most people would be able to make like a pretty good guess as to who Archer is. But like I said, I already know, so I'll just keep my mouth shut until next time when we actually confront Archer at the Einsburn Castle. But until then, I will be seeing you. See ya!